And it is a day of new beginnings. Every day is a new day. And every day we have a chance to start anew and have a better day and all that good stuff. Even when we live in a world that thrive on past mistakes and future uncertainty. But that's not how we operate. And just because they doing that, don't mean we have to. And I want to do something that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I keep letting this world it's affecting a lot of us, more profound than others, in different ways. And I wish more of us would be in that we have to help our fellow man mode more. But I want to talk about a little bit of our African American quotations. This is an old book, as you could tell. It's old and it's been used and it is falling apart. And I tried to find another one online, and I couldn't. I found one that it wasn't this one. This one, this book came out. This was by Richard Newman, forward by Julian Bond, and this came out in copyright 2000. Yeah, and this have African American quotations. Black people's grace has been what they do with language. Toni Morrison. Since the time of their enslavement, African Americans have relied on oral tradition as substance and inspirations, often using words in a simple yet profound way to convey ordinary and exceptional sentiments, with more than 2,500 quotations on a wide range of topics. Yes. And it's very inspirational. Um, we could use this. We should have this in our daily lives. Every black person in America should have a book like this, some kind of book that we could talk about as a family to get us ready for the day, prepare our children for what's to come. Because it's a shame that our kids are not prepared for this world. Every generation should be prepared for the world that they will be entering as an adult. You have to be ready. You have to be ready to confront your fears, your aspirations, your goals, your enemies. A lot of us go out into this world not knowing who their enemy is. And you have them. There are 300 hate groups out here. Don't fool yourself. A lot of us come out into this world not knowing that this is a very racist country. Act accordingly, or you will become a MAGA, black MAGA. Um, and we should tell our kids about achievement and what it doesn't mean. And you're not doing this just for yourself. You are doing this for not just your people, but for mankind. Mankind is dependent on you to be strong. Because you're not just saving your life, you are saving the lives of your people. And we didn't come out in this world knowing that these Europeans has had a 400-year start. We're not telling our children to unite and build something together. No, we're too busy showing them about individualism, turning them into crabs in a barrel. Because I've seen it growing up. I see how my family was, how it was always keeping up with the Joneses, but it wasn't getting together with the Joneses. It was keeping up with the Joneses. Instead of the aunts coming together and building something, keeping the cousins, the nieces and the nephews on the right track, they was competing against one another. And the husbands was out there making babies and families with other families. Yeah, that's why we in the shape we in now. Because I always talk about the 70s. Everybody had money. You was broke because you wanted to be broke. You had black people, thriving on pimping. And then you had a lot of black people that had factory jobs, making good money, had a lot of black businesses. What happened? Project 20 or Project 1980 or whatever they came about. They was in the boardroom figuring out how they could make money, more money, and keep us poor at the same time. So they start setting the factories start closing up and going overseas. And then they brought crack in. And then I already knew the parents. They've been watching us a long time. And they know most of these men that was working at these factories making all this good money. All they cared about was buying Cadillacs and making a whole nother family. And the women was just they was too busy making a come up, buying all this nice fancy clothes and furniture and the kids they were just left to feed on themselves. And they was easily persuaded to get on that crack. Then they started closing up the black businesses. The black businesses closed up, and then the foreigner business sprouted overnight. It was all literally overnight. You go in the store, you see them Arabs or them Indians, and then you had the Chinese taking over the. I know. I remember the time where you didn't have no Chinese restaurants. You had black restaurants, and then you had Europeans, of course. You have all these Chinese restaurants. And I can understand why a lot of people are hating on the immigrants and all this stuff. But see, they was letting them in to export them, had them picking their fruits and stuff because black people was working in the factories. And we weren't picking nothing no more. That was out. They were still doing it kind of like down south, picking the tobacco and stuff. But see, them Europeans, a lot of them immigrants, they didn't too much care for that tobacco, picking tobacco. But and they let them in, and then the word got out. Oh boy, you could go over there and get it on. And then a lot of them started coming over here, and they was getting overwhelmed. They couldn't process them fast enough because they're stupid. I'm gonna stop saying stupid. They are evil junior geniuses, and some of them don't know how to really function. And they got overwhelmed. So people started sneaking in. Then they had to start building walls. Then they had to start, and it's just been going on and on. And now this is where we at. ICE agents out in the street, rounding up people, kidnapping people off the street, putting them in prisons, kids being raped. This is how it, that's why I say, hey, stop being bombarded with all this stuff that's going on because we should have been better prepared for it. But now that it's here, we have to work on it. And that's by fighting fire with fire. And we have to put out the fire. How do you put out a fire? We have to, um, you know, we have to look at, we just have to be smart. Okay, let's look at some of these quotations. Let's look up here. See, you can look back here. You can find out a quotation about journalism, uh, critic. Let's see. Then you could go by name. So that would be something right now. Let's look at this by Booker T. Washington. Thinking. A lot of us have a thinking problem. You think that you could go out there and just rob and steal and think nothing's going to happen to you. Let me see. Um, see what Booker T. Washington says about thinking. That's something that we need to teach our kids more. How to control their thinking, how to think about the right thing and all that good stuff. Your thinking changes into action. Let me see. 2309. Oh, 2309. That's a lot. We got over 2,000. Wait a minute. Where am I at? 2309. Okay. 2309. That's a lot of quotations, ain't it? Hey, if you don't use it, you lose it. Especially the mind. Okay. Have you grown to the point where you can unflinchingly stand up for the right, for that which is honorable, honest, truthful, and whether it makes you popular or unpopular? That is something that we need to ask our leaders. Are you willing to stand up for what's right and honest and truthful, whether it makes you popular or unpopular? We we need to have them make lie detector test. Mm. Hello.
Good morning, Miss Teresa. How are you, beautiful?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. How are you?
I'm good. Still in the bed, just resting, playing with my telephone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's about it. We all doing fine. As far as I know, the rest of the family's doing okay.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm happy you called. Yeah, I had talked to Aunt Mert the other day. She said you was
Yeah,
getting your hair all dolled up.
girl, I didn't know I had so much hair on my head. I remember wearing those braids about maybe 3 years ago. I got some hair on my head.
Yeah.
I like it, but the thing of it is, I'm gonna have to tell the girl when she curly. You know, people do what you ask them to do. I told her to put it in small. So everybody else is doing all right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's good.
Who?
I said, are you still Valerie?
No. No, I haven't
Okay.
seen her in years.
Oh my God. I hope you guys get that. Like,
Yeah, it would be nice. I do miss my sisters, but it's, that's just something that has to come together. I hope in time.
you know,
Hmm.
that I can wait for that. That's get back together. Just trying hard. I don't know. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
but we gotta take the time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, she just
But
had a
that,
birthday. Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
so
I
you
got
got, yeah. Oh, yeah, before I forget, take a picture of that flower because Albert told me that your flower finally bloomed. I would love to see it.
which one? I got
Oh, the one that only blooms so often, like so many years that it comes out.
that's so which one.
Uh huh. Oh, okay. She said she had just bloomed. She said that it's the first time she's seen it since she's been living there.
Okay, I'll have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
anyway, that's
Yeah.
but as I said, I
Okay.
and I think person and you guys I just
Okay.
don't have a problem with that. I, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
that way.
Okay.
What's the battery? I mean,
What you meant she got her hands full?
what it is, right? So,
Oh.
yeah, kind of. You guys just not ready.
Oh yeah, she's yeah, she got that from daddy. Doing all that
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm the
But I
total
just
opposite.
slow down and just relax. What you got, and
Mm-hmm.
call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping I don't even feel like keeping my house something hard. People have like, now, you know, my so price of home classes never been good,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to do. I keep everything home. People bring me stuff. And
Uh-huh.
I probably I don't have to wipe it off. And if I look at the back where it goes,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you know, if they want to get those things from you can something
Yeah,
like that.
that's true. That's true. I clean houses, so I know how that is.
Okay. Well, yeah. Like I say, I only get it once a month.
Uh-huh. Um,
And I don't get it at all. I get it the first part of December, and I don't let it come in more than it can. See, before they get messed up, so,
mm-hmm.
and you want to make everybody comfortable, so I don't need to be here.
Yeah.
So whatever clean up they do, they think something I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when they leave, I have to come back.
Mhm.
That's, that's all right.
I hate to cut you off, but
Oh no,
I'm on a Zoom
anyway,
meeting. But I
I'm
wanted to call. I wanted to speak to you because I've been trying to call, and and I want to yeah,
I'm not going to try to, operating telephone.
yeah.
But they got by.
Okay, love you. I'll talk to you again soon. All right,
All
take
right.
care. Okay, okay. That was my aunt. I don't talk to family much, and I've been trying to get out of that because even though we have a checkered past, I feel like um, I feel that it's a new day, and you can't be stupid all your life. You can't let stupid stuff go in between you and what's good all your life. So I was happy, when I was growing up, I didn't have aunts and uncles in my life, even though I had 24 of them. But like I said, like I was saying earlier, that we wasn't we didn't grow up to be together. And then in my our home, we was not brought up to have feelings. So it's hard for us to express ourselves. So, and I realized that, I didn't got to the age where live and let live. Okay, what was I? Okay, let's see, where is that at? I was talking about, but I'm glad she called me. Because for a long time, oh, I ain't calling her. She don't call me. I did that to my parents. I didn't talk to my parents for a whole year. Well, they don't call me. I'm not gonna call them. I wish I had somebody to tell me, girl, you was a fool. And finally, I said, let me call my parents. What if they had passed away or I passed away? But and I know eventually one of us had to call. So I said, let me call, see how my parents doing. And of course, they acted just like we hadn't talked for a whole year. Oh, how you doing? Everything's okay. Not, oh, whatever. But I have an aunt that just turned 100 years old, and I out of 12 aunts, six uncles and six aunts, we like down to four. Okay. So what if I didn't have a relationship with them when I was young? That's done over with. Be thankful for what you got. Okay, let's Booker T. Washington. Um, wait a minute. This is on values. I thought I was okay. Well, is thinking is values because you what you value the most is what you would think about the most. So you really need to ask yourself, why am I thinking about that? Okay. Have you grown to the point where you can unflinchingly stand up for the right, for that which is honorable, honest, truthful, whether it makes you popular or unpopular? Have you grown to the point where absolutely and unswervingly you make truth and honor your standard of thinking and speaking? Is our leaders speaking with honor? Are our leaders speaking with truthful? Because it's not that they talking to us or these grown ass people that you see at those rallies acting stupid and doing all these nasty stuff. No, they're talking for our children. Now, some people may not care about their children. They look at their children as the next KKK leaders. Who knows? Who knows? And these are the very ones that's always talking about God. That they think God is on their side. Now, do they read Psalms? Do you think they read Psalms? Do you think they read this book of Psalms? Psalms 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. Psalm 2, 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and their rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. Now, see, that's why I don't understand about these. They let one side want to take over the Christian um, life. Why are we not coming at them with scripture? Knowing that, as far as I see, the Democrats are more trying to be like Christ than these so-called right-wing Christian nationalists. Why? Excuse me. Why are we letting them hijack the Bible, Christianity? This was my mother's last Bible. Um, yeah. Proverbs 10, verse 12. Hatred stirreth up strife, but love covers all sins. we really know what's going on in these churches? Especially those evangelicals. How can this man sit up there and say the stuff that he say and still have their undying support? Okay, that's a question that needs to be answered. Okay, this is pretty interesting. I just made a video about uh, Ted Cruz just wrote a book about Clarence Thomas. So here is a quote from Anita Hill about Thomas Clarence. Let's read what that says. See, we don't have enough black people out here talking about stuff, the real stuff, what's really going on. Because, of course, this world is scared of the truth. Okay, 1129. Under honesty. This was my weakness during the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas. I assumed a level of honesty in the questioning that did not exist. The questions were honest. She assumed a level of honesty in the questioning that did not exist. We're not talking about that enough. That judiciary committee hearing on Clarence Thomas. I remember it. Yeah, I remember it. And they still, the same thing they did with Kavanaugh, they still let him. So what was the point? What was the point of having this hearing when you're going to let him be uh, a judge anyway? That's what I say about the European justice system. They go through all this rigmarole, all this money, and still let them be a judge. You shouldn't even be a judge if you're even accused of doing the stuff that they are accused of. And they're very professional in their questioning. Yeah. Because they're being questioned by not legal minds, but conniving minds. And of course, she lived in a time where most black people wasn't paying attention, didn't care. Okay, let's look at a few more. Tokenism. That's what we called it back in the day, tokens. But now they call them coons and all this. We don't need to give them any airspace. We really don't, because it defeats the purpose. Let's see, 354. No. Oh, Leah Leontyne Price. I can't say her name. See, 2255. 2255. All token blacks have the same experience. I have been pointed at as a solution to things that have not begun to be solved. Because pointing at us, token blacks, eases the conscience of millions. And I think this is dreadfully wrong. The opera singer, how do you say his name? And see, this is what we're doing now. We're pointing at tokens, or the MAGA, the black MAGA, or the coons, and we are pointing fingers at them. Let me see. I can. Mm, she's an opera singer, and they called her a token because she's an opera singer. Wow, I don't understand because it sound like they're saying that. I mean, it sounds like she's speaking of herself as being called a token. What is this about? City located in the wealthiest black county elects it what? City located in wealthiest black county elects its first African American mayor. When was this? In 2019. Mayor Adams And we're in Bowie, Maryland, the wealthiest black county in the U.S. Tim Adams is the city's first new mayor in 2 decades and his first black mayor, who has been wheelchair bound since an accident. Wow. See, disability should not stop you from doing what you want to do. They elected a man in a wheelchair. He was a successful business owner who's, who provides support to customers of the Department of Defense. He's been a Bowie resident for the last 25 years. Huh. Huh. Let me. I don't know if it's still up and running, but that sounds interesting. See, I didn't know that. Where is this place at? Bowie. What was the name of it? Bowie, Maryland. Bowie, Maryland. Huh. And I'm sure a lot of these young black women do not know anything about her because she's an opera singer. Yeah. Sound beautiful. Sounds beautiful. Beautiful. Mm, okay. I'm pretty interested. Bowie, Maryland. Maryland woman shot while holding baby during an argument with boyfriend over school supplies. Ah, okay, let me see. Mm, wow, wow. Attempted murder 3 days ago over school supplies. Shot the woman while she's holding the baby. This is what I'm saying. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. He's 41 years. Kimball Hinton arrested on the front lawn of his Bowie home after he shot the 38-year-old mother in the head as she was sitting on her bed holding their 2 month. That's why I say some. I tried to keep it uplifting, but it's hard to do. They were arguing over their inability to provide back to school supplies. Why do you have a gun in the argument? Why is there a gun anywhere near the 2 month old? And they had 6 kids and they arguing over the inability to get. That's why I'm saying, oh, it's so many people that's going through so much and they can't handle it because they can't. They so used to handling their problems with a beer or a joint. According to the documents, one of the children tried to intervene, but Hinton reached into his pocket, pulled out a gun, and fired 2 shots at his girlfriend. She was found on the floor, called 911. 2 minutes later, the police arrived, and he said, I shot her. The gun is in the mailbox. So what we're seeing is people are reacting from subconscious seminal messages. That's what they see on TV. That's what they hear about on TV. Somebody piss you off, you shoot them. That's what he probably plays those games. That's what you do for 2 hours straight, shooting weapons, killing these mythical creatures in this game. And it's automatic. And this is probably what he's seen in his family. You going, why do you have a gun in your pocket? For one thing, arguing. Okay. Now, we just heard that we just heard that this was a, I don't know if this was Bowie. Let me see.
Fox Bar Barnard outside the family's home, and we've learned today.
The victim in this case survived the attack. It's described in graphic detail in these court documents. She's 38 years old, was shot in the head while sitting on her bed holding the couple's 2-month-old baby.
Okay.
Apparently, they were arguing over their ability to pay for back.
What are you arguing about? You should be comforting each other. You should be, thinking of strategies to be able to get your kids the needed. And you knew school was coming up. You should have had the supplies already. Is it still the wealthiest Black community in the United States? Well, money does not make you any less safe or more safe. Let me see. Okay. But I went from still didn't figure out how to say her name. But I have and for what I'm getting is let me say this. The Mayor Scott's wife received what? They are selecting a mayor. The mayor received $51,000 in taxpayers through a youth fund. What? Westmore. Okay. Mm. Okay. Okay, let's think of thinking. Let's go back to thinking. This is by Zora Hurston. His road of thought is what makes every man what he is. That's so true. Okay, let's do a little bit of this. Women. Maya Angelou. Black women whose ancestors were brought to the United States beginning in 1619 have lived through conditions of cruelty so horrible, so bizarre, the women had to reinvent themselves. Yes. And what are we doing now? Us women, black women especially. What are we doing? We letting these people keep misusing us. We're letting these men gun us down. We're letting these children make a fool out of us. I didn't raise you like this. We are the daughters of those who chose to survive. Of course, we didn't have no choice. But I would rather have been a daughter of the one that jumped off the ship. My sisters, both blood and earth, have been the sole inspiration for all the truth I have ever learned. We, as Black women, must understand the true power all of us bring to each other and to the struggle. Belinda B. Body, Batty, Entrepreneur. Despite the achievements, the world has not been willing to accept the contributions women have made. And we are guilty of that ourselves. We are not hollering from the rooftops of all our achievements. We're not talking about it to our kids. You could go into any Black home and you will not see not one Black woman of substance on their wall. And yet, we want to cry about how we're being treated. If a man comes in your house and he sees all these pictures of Sojourner Truth, Coretta Scott King, um, Harriet Tubman, and Mary Bethune, Malloy Bethune, and Anna Julia Cooper, and Shirley Chisholm. He come in there and see all these pictures on your wall. He be like, oh, wait a minute. What kind of woman is this? I think she might be too strong to go for my nonsense. But no, we don't do that. They come in the house and what they say? Some weak ass women stuff. That's what they say. The true worth of a race must be measured by the character of its womanhood. Mm-hmm. Mary Malloy Bethune. We have to help Black men, but not at the expense of our own personalities as a woman. You know who said that? Shirley Chisholm. Yes. Okay, I'm going to end with that. Thank you for listening. Sorry about the interaction, but I mean, interact. interruption. Um, Read the best books first, or you may not have a chance to read them all. To read or not to read, not even a question. Read, read, read. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.